Hey Tina, you remember my Aunt Iris, right? Yeah, the Jewish one, who was a Holocaust denier. Yes, yeah, we used to call her anti-Semite. Yeah, did you know there's no longer like 100% like full-blooded Jews anymore? Hitler wiped all them out. Now everybody's Jew-ish. And holy shit. And welcome back to a brand new episode of DarthNews Special Edition, Everything I Don't Like is White Supremacy. And welcome back to DarthNews Special Edition, Everybody Hates Seth Rogan. Now, in case you're unaware, Seth Rogan and Sarah Silverman's new show, Santa Inc., or Santa Incorporated if you want to go the longhand version, is getting abysmal reviews. It is now IMDb's lowest rated TV show ever. Ever. That's like really hard to do. Okay? And it's sitting at a 4% on Rotten Tomatoes audience score, and they have not yet released the critics score because it's so bad that even the critics can't chill for it. The show didn't only just bomb with ratings on HBO Max, the trailer on YouTube bombed. Now, the show didn't air on YouTube, but the trailer did. And the trailer is now sitting at around 134,000 dislikes. How do I know that? Because there is a little add-on you can do for Google Chrome, which is return the YouTube dislike button, and it will now show you the YouTube dislike count if you download that add-on to your Chrome. Anyway, I did that, and it's around 134,000 dislikes versus, what was it? 3,000 likes? That is terrible. This is exactly why YouTube has removed the dislike count. So that way you can't see how bad things are doing. You can only see how good they're doing. I mean, it would really put things into perspective for a new viewer to see that there's 134,000 dislikes versus 3,000 likes. That's a pretty, hefty chunk of change of a difference. But when you remove the visibility of the dislike button, what do? You get only the likes. So people might think that, hey, it got 3,000 likes, so it's doing really good. But in reality, it's not at all. And of course, as we all know, anything that gets bad reviews in Hollywood, white supremacy is to blame. And that is exactly what Seth Rogan is blaming the bad reviews on now. White supremacy. But before we go ahead and dive into Seth Rogan's comments on Twatter, let's show you a clip of Seth Rogan a couple years ago talking about political comedy and yada yada yada.
I would never make a joke that I think would get a laugh that has a political view that I don't personally believe in, because I might get asked about that one day and I don't want to look stupid. So it's like, I do think that a lot of people who try to be edgy or political, who feel as though they're unfairly targeted by the political correctness crowd, forget that they have to be funny as well as edgy and political. And I think that if you really look at the people who complain about that and the people who don't, very few of the people who are complaining about it are hilarious, and most of the people who are truly hilarious, who are incredibly edgy, never complain about it at all. I mean, I think every time you make a joke that in your head is like slightly, I don't even know, controversial, like there's almost like a group of people that have to react negatively to some jokes in order for the jokes to be valid, and you just know that group of stupid people is going to say that thing, and that's almost the point that the joke is making, is that there's a group of people who think this thing that you think is not necessarily what they should be thinking, and they will say their thing, and sometimes you'll say something, though, that offends more than just those people by accident.
What's funny? There's so many things he said that I could not agree with more. I applaud him for saying some of the things he said, but I just don't know if I believe that he believes those things anymore. And if he does, he's went down the wrong path of what he thinks is funny, or what he thinks people think is funny. I mean, there's nothing funny about his new show. And it's a pathetic, weak, and just overused scapegoat, just blaming white supremacy. It's the white supremacy. It's a joke now. To claim white supremacy is a joke. You're basically just a Jussie Smollett. It's not true, but you claim it's white supremacy. There's no difference between Jussie Smollett and Seth Rogan. Seth Rogan's just doing it on Twitter. Like, if Seth Rogan actually thinks that his Santa Inc. jokes are funny, then he needs to take a long, hard look in the mirror. and tell himself a joke from one of the episodes and see if you laugh. I don't know, but you say what? We say supremacy. You say what? We say supremacy. So let's go ahead and jump into his Twitter, see what he's saying, see what other people are saying, and then we'll wrap it up. Alright, so we're over here at Seth Rogen's Twitter account where he is blaming the bad reviews for his new show Santa Inc. on, you guessed it, white supremacy. He tweeted out this, quote, "We really pissed off tens of thousands of white supremacists with our new show, #Santa Inc., which I'm dyslexic, so it kind of looks like satanic, I don't know, which is now available on HBO Max. He says, please read the responses to this tweet for confirmation. Confirmation that they are white supremacists, I assume? First off, dude, there's not even 10,000 or tens of thousands of white supremacists out there. I can guarantee you there's just not. And secondly, there's definitely not tens of thousands of white supremacists watching your show just to review bomb it, all right? And number three, it's pretty obvious when you say, please read the responses to this tweet for confirmation. What you're really saying is anybody who tweets down below or retweets or comments below saying that you're wrong, this is your show sucks and I'm not a white supremacist, is in fact a white supremacist. That is what that's exactly what you're saying. You're saying these people who disagree with you are all white supremacists. So let's go ahead and read some of these responses. You got everyone from The Quartering, It's a Gundam, Yellow Flash. Exactly. Everything I don't like is Hitler. A guide to a child's guide to online political discussion. You got Vito. Why are all the reindeer black stereotypes then? Oh, that's a good point. Now, apparently, all the reindeer in the show are just completely obvious, blatant black stereotypes.
Make your case, bitch. You gotta get intimate with that jolly bitch. I know you're right, but do you really have to call me bitch every time you say something? Yes, bitch, because it's empowering to call you bitch.
And coming from a couple of white people, I don't know, it's a little bit racist. Ricky Privat says, everyone must be a white supremacist because I can't find a positive review. Yeah, I couldn't either. Chris Manning says, you haven't had a good movie since Pineapple Express. Maybe take 5 years off, and when you come back, you might be funny again. Yeah, I think he's just too deep in his own shit, you know? He smelled too many of his own farts. He's drank too much Kool-Aid. That Umbrella guy, shout out to Tug, says, turns off likes because ratio, turns off comments because ratio. We're showing those white supremacists. Exactly. Now, these go on forever, so I mean, you get the point. These people who disagree are not white supremacists. Seth Rogen is just using the typical Hollywood lefty response to bad reviews as to white supremacy. I mean, what was that movie that did really bad reviews? That one all girls movie? Was it? I think it was the Charlie's Angels. I think it was Charlie's Angels. Yeah, that bombed really bad, and the director blamed it on white men. And it's like, or blamed it on men. It's like, no, your movie just sucked. That's. And then you have these shill media outlets like Uproxx TV siding with Seth Rogen, saying Seth Rogen believes his HBO Max show Santa Inc. is being review bombed by white supremacists. They say there are only a few professional reviews of Santa Inc. out there, but the ones that do exist are not exactly positive. Saying, quote, in elevating itself above its subject matter, Santa Inc. ends up feeling dour and heavy, a televised lump of coal, end quote, reads the Variety review. But it's hard to believe that the show is, quote, 3% on Rotten Tomatoes level of bad, considering the talent involved. Oh yes, because Sarah Silverman and fucking, or whatever her name is, and Seth Rogen are, talented people. Yeah, they might be kind of talented, they maybe used to be talented, but now they're talentless hacks. They say there is likely some level of review bombing afoot. So they're saying, oh, there has to be review bombing because these celebrities are just too talented. There's no way their show could be that bad. Yeah, it is that bad.
And I shat my pants as terribly as a human possibly could.
No warning. Just came flying out. Full shit.
Like, you know what? I gotta go.
Well, maybe a clip from our new hilarious stop-motion animated Christmas series will cheer you up.
It won't.
Some were loved, others loathed. But the position of Santa has mostly been a white man's game.
Exactly, it's fucking crazy. Things have got to change.
My advice to you is, if I die, get rid of my porn!
let's go over what we know. Santa and the board are all male and all white. They play golf, drink, smoke cigars, say things like, don't ever marry your mistress.
If I worked hard enough, no one could deny me anything. So I did. I worked my ass off, and I proved myself.
All right, not really a segue, more of a pivot, but I hear you.
I want my dreams to come true. I want to be the next successor and the first female Santa Claus in history.
I mean, it's just so sad because, like, Seth Rogen is such a douche, such a tool. And he used to be so cool. I used to love Seth Rogen. What the fuck happened, man? Gee, just cringe. Cringe all around. I don't know. This feels like just a desperate attempt to blame anything or anybody, specifically white supremacists, for review bombing your show, which I guarantee you was not watched by any white supremacists. Alright? And if you're telling me all the thousands of comments on Twitter are white supremacists, dude, white supremacists don't exist on Twitter. Twitter is a prominently leftist sphere of the internet. You're not going to find thousands of white supremacists on Twitter or tens of thousands of white supremacists watching and review bombing your stupid ass show on HBO Max. Anyways, those are my thoughts. What are yours? Please let me know your comments in the comments below. I want to get inside your head. I want to know what you're thinking. Please tell me. Dirtiest and darkest secrets. I want to know them all. All the dark stuff. You know what I mean? Like the fucked up stuff. Like the, ooh, I kind of regret thinking about that kind of stuff. Anyways, thanks for tuning in to another episode of DarthNews, special edition, Everybody Hates Seth Rogen. I've been your host, Darth, and until next time, don't you dare forget to pull out, that is POO. And as always, remember to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, and feel free to go to my merch store, Patreon, or CashApp, that's right. Yes, that's right. If you want to help support the channel, I am completely demonetized. I know I say that every video, but I gotta remind you every video, just to remind you that I'm reminding you that I'm demonetized. And if you do want to support the channel, CashApp, donate as little as $1, just a one-time donation of $1, fantastic. Or go to my Patreon and donate as little as $1 a month, or feel free to go to my merch store and buy a little bit of merch, help support the channel. That way, you can keep repping me and giving me some free advertising. That would be awesome. So until we meet again in like a couple hours, I'll see you later. I mean, basically, if you agree that Seth Rogen's comments about the review bombs being white supremacists are distasteful, smash the like button. It doesn't matter if you hit the dislike because no one's going to see it, unless you download that Chrome ad, but for the most part, no one's going to see it. So if you want to dislike the video, go ahead, fucking dislike it. You know what's funny? I wonder why sometimes I get dislikes on videos that shouldn't get dislikes. And it's like, people might agree with me, you know what I mean? They might actually agree with what I'm saying, but they just don't like the way I'm saying it. So they're like, nah, this guy's a douche. Fuck him. He's a bad rep. He's a bad mascot for what I'm thinking.
Happy families with you, but I like having you around. I'm fully aware this is a flash in the pan, but we can still have fun for now. Yeah, we can still have fun for now. Oh, we can still have fun